Hi, I'm Vinod Sekhar, and this is Shaker Not Stirred. Hi, welcome to Shaker Not Stirred. Today, we have Dasha Logan with us. Dasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and a privilege.
My honor and my privilege. Can we keep saying this?
Yes, we're just going to keep doing this for the whole show. Lovely.
Okay.
I like having
I'm trying not to look at your legs. You keep, you're just showing a lot of leg.
A blanket. I can't stop looking at your socks. We both seem to have a leg fetish thing happening.
And it's kind of sexy, isn't it?
It is. Yes.
It is, yeah. With bears on our socks.
With bears on the socks, with brown shoes,
So let's talk about you.
Okay, sure.
I mean, you have done things in the music industry that virtually, hardly any in this country has achieved. You were number one on the soul chart in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
In fact, you're the only one in Malaysian history that has been number one in the UK soul chart. Right? In fact, you're, I think, the first, if not the only, but certainly the first Malaysian to be on any international charts at number one.
It was 2014.
2014. How old were you? 20?
Sure. I'll say 27.
27, sorry. But you just look 25 now, so,
I'll just leave it up to people to guess my age.
But okay, you were 27 when you did that. You started your career at 17. Okay? You're the daughter of a legendary Loganathan. And Alleycats was beloved. I mean, I grew up with him. I grew up listening to your father, watching your father and his band, the Alleycats. In fact, they would come and visit the school to have a session to talk to us. They were iconic.
Yes.
And they still are. What role did he play in you deciding to go into the music industry? I mean, did he just say, Dasha, you have a nice voice, come, let me teach you? Or did you just decide that, I want to be a singer?
I just decided. I don't think I had a choice. So I was probably, when my mother was pregnant with me, I was already in the music scene. It was surrounding me in performances, my dad's performances, or music at home. So music has been in my life since forever. So when I was really young, I was in Penang. And my father was always traveling, so I hardly got to see him. But I knew he was a singer. I knew he was popular. And I would watch him on TV and listen to his CDs more than I actually got to watch him live. I liked what he was doing, so I wanted to do it as well. And I am not ashamed. I'm not even shy to say it. I always wanted to be a Disney princess. And I'm sure a lot of girls want to be
Doesn't everyone want to be a Disney princess or a Disney prince?
I'm sure you do, but I would love to.
No, I just want to be Mickey.
Well, that's still Disney. That's Disney Kids.
Yes, well.
I grew up listening to Cinderella and all those cartoons, and I loved it. And I loved Sound of Music. Favorite show. And
What song?
All of them.
The
hills are alive. That scene.
Okay, now I'm not going to sing, in case. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to start.
The scene where Julie Andrews is just spinning around on the hill is just the most iconic music scene. It's my first music video.
Okay, so you got professional at 17?
I got my first paying job to sing at the age of 17 years in a little restaurant in Penang. It was a Brazilian restaurant. So I had to learn Portuguese, some Spanish songs, get my jazz ready, and entertain the crowd. You're just there to entertain them when there's an awkward silence between a date. It's like, I don't know what to say in a date. Then oh, she's such a good singer. That's where I'm for. That's what my job was in the restaurant. And I gotta tell you, my first ever performance was a bust. I went up there. I didn't know whether to be overconfident or humble, or I did not know. I just went up there and I sang along with this pianist. She was really good, but it was her first time as well. So I went up there and I started to dance, which I can't do, so that was horrible. And then I just stood there singing quietly, which was horrible. Then I sang Happy Birthday, which lasted about 10 minutes, which was horrible. And I didn't do a very good job. Then I realized, I need to practice performing to a crowd of people who aren't necessarily...
You suddenly realize, okay, what my dad does isn't quite that easy.
No, exactly.
He just makes it look easy.
Correct.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I mean, we both have famous fathers.
Yes.
They make it look, they make whatever they do easy. So we feel that, well, we can do that. You know,
Yeah.
why not? It's easy, right?
That's what fathers do, right? They just make...
And then you fall flat in your face.
Yeah, and then they laugh at you. They go,
Then,
let me help you. Let me show you the
Okay.
way.
17, you did that, and you grew up. Did he play a role in shaping your music, in shaping the genre you went for, the sort of music you would begin to sing?
It's a very good question. So I showed interest to become a singer when I was like 4, and he always wanted me to probably finish the education part first and then decide later on. But I think by the time I was 17 and actually doing this properly, he was like, okay, fine. I accept that my daughter wants to be a singer, but he didn't want me to do like his scene, which were club scenes in Hong Kong where they had bottles and cans thrown at them. The crowd didn't like what they were singing. He had the worst kind of experiences and the best. So he didn't want me to have the worst experience. He wanted me to just have the good ones. But between the age of 17 and 19, where I would start asking him more questions about performing. That's when he got sick, when I was 18. So I didn't get to ask him much questions. Like if he was around now, and I've wished this for the past 14 years, if he was around now, I would have so many questions. I would definitely, desperately need his help and guidance. But he's not. But I'm lucky that my uncle's still around. So I get to ask him questions. So what was how did you excel in your 20s, and how did your father play a part in that?
I mean, I think my father played a part in every aspect of my life. He shaped me, So he was one of the good guys that wanted to make a difference. And I wanted to be him so desperately. So desperately. I wanted to be my dad. I wanted to do the things he could do. I wanted to be respected like he was. I wanted to be loved like he was. I wanted to change lives like he seemed to do effortlessly around him. So, yeah, he shaped everything I had. But then I became a businessman. I was lucky. I started my company when I was 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, millionaire at 20, multimillionaire at 24, Dato at 26, Forbes list by 38.
And still ongoing.
Still going.
And still ongoing. And how did that feel when you first got your first, when you became a millionaire in your early 20s? How did that feel?
Well, I think, I was going to ask you this, how do you deal with success early, right? Because getting success early means you haven't had the rigors of life yet. You've not faced the battles. You've not got the battle scars, right?
You don't know how
you were
to
lucky. You worked hard, but you got lucky. You did well. I'm talking about myself, right? So I guess I didn't really realize what it was like to fall because I'd been on this motion. And I'm a scholarship student, because my father was a civil servant. So I had to get a scholarship to go to university, then did business, got lucky. The problem is I got what some would term as a God complex, where everyone is saying wonderful things about you. In those days, no social media. Right. So it was magazine covers and newspaper articles and that sort of thing. But everyone is saying nice things about you. Oh, whiz kid, kid with a golden touch, all that, all that sort of stuff. Here's the problem. When you start believing your own crap, you start doing stuff that you have no business doing. You think you're untouchable. Mm-hmm. And, you act untouchable. The arrogance becomes, you in your head justified because that's what everyone's saying. Then you get touched.
That's when.
My God, is that a slap? You fall flat in your face. You get up and you fall flat in your ass.
Oh, but we learn from that. We learn from this.
So yeah, I mean, it's. But how did you deal with it? Because, you were suddenly Dasha Logan.
Oh.
And you forget about the fact whose daughter you were.
Oh,
right? Because your father was celebrity, or you're the Alleycats' daughter.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, how did you deal with that?
So this has been an issue since I went to school. Like when I was 6 years old, because I'm a December baby. So when I'm in standard 1, I'm 6. And everybody looked at me and went, Anak Alleycat. Don't think you have special privileges because you're Anak Alleycat. And I was like wondering, what does that mean? I didn't get why that's a bigger deal than anything else. But as I went through school, I realized why people thought I would get special treatment, which I never did. It was normal school. I was treated like everybody else. And then when I started singing, of course, everyone said, you're only popular because of who your father is. And if you were anybody else, you would not get this far. And that was the only reason why I went to London. I went to London in 2012 to test this thing. Because in Malaysia, if I sing, even if I was horrible, they'd be like, oh, you're such a good singer. You're just like your dad. You must have it in your blood. Because since young, my music teachers would be, you're in the choir because you must be able to sing. Ronnie Scott has such a vibe. You go in there and you feel so welcome and loved, and everybody is just on the same page.
Yeah, it's it's place I go to often.
Yes.
I still go to often.
Yeah,
It's still there. You know?
I remember the first time, that trip, I went to Ronnie Scott's the first time, and it was a jam session, so people are allowed to come up and perform. But they would not let me go up. They said, yeah, we'll get you on later in the night, but that never came. So when the next Wednesday, the next jam session, and I signed up, never got to my name. This happened for about a month, 4 weeks I went, and they wouldn't let me sing because they don't know who I am, they don't know anything about me. I might be a horrible singer and they didn't want to risk it, which I understand. But one Wednesday, I went really early. It gave me the courage to go up to the moderator for the show. And I said, I want to sing. And I came with a friend and she said, don't you know who she is? She's a Malaysian singer. She's on tour. And they came up with this whole background story. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'm on tour. And the guy said, okay, we'll put you on early in the night. So it was about 9, before anybody could come in. He goes, we have a singer all the way from Malaysia. Her name is Dasha. And I go up and I'm so nervous. I'm quite tipsy. And I sing this song called The Nearness of You. The video is on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. Very nervous, badly recorded, but it's there. And I sang the song. It was in the wrong key. So they played it in a very high key. But I tried, kind of stop and be like, no, I'll do it again. Because you just look like you don't look very nice. So they started again and I sang the song. And everybody was very polite, like, oh, well done, good job. And the guitarist came up to me and he said, hello, my name is Robin. I'm sorry, I don't do a very good British accent. He said, my name is Robin Banerjee, and I think you're a really good singer. And I said, thank you very much. And I found out that Robin Banerjee is Amy Winehouse's guitarist. And she was still alive back then. She just wasn't on tour. And that's how I met Robin. And from then, we started to do more projects together, and he came to Malaysia together. But that was great. But when I left Ronnie Scott's that night, I stood outside and I thought, if a bus ran me down, I will die a happy girl. Because I got to sing in Ronnie Scott's. And that was it. And that helped me realize that, okay, I can sing. It's not all just who your father is. It's like, I can sing.
We all know you can sing.
I didn't know that.
Okay. You then did some more work.
Yes.
And then you did the song that became number 1.
Correct. I decided to go back to London the next year. And a friend of mine, Sam, from Malaysia, he said, go and meet his friends. He said, go back to London, meet my friends, and just chat with them. So I went back to London the next year. I met Dean Ricketts. And we just had a nice chat at the Soho Club. So I had an orange juice. And we just started chatting music, talking about what I like. And he said, okay, let's just send you a couple of tracks and see what you write. So I took those tracks and I just played around with lyrics and wrote Cleverly, which was the first song recorded. And this was just after there was all these big fights happening around London in Tottenham Hale, where the riots going on. Mm-hmm. And the studio was there. So I took a train, which is out to Zone 4, and I recorded Cleverly in this little tiny kitchen with my jacket on because it was so cold. And it took a day, just a day. We got the vocals done, and the producer was so good. He just went, this is the money shot. Yeah, this is boom, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I've never experienced this kind of enthusiasm before. And then he liked it. And they mixed it, they mastered it, they started working on it. And it was almost a year later. I almost gave up on it. It's like, it's never going to be released. But a year later, they're like, okay, it's being released. Here's we need you to do a music video in Malaysia. Here's the money, go and do it. I did it, didn't expect anything to come out of it. And then in November 2014, suddenly it was number 14 on the UK Soul Chart. And the next week it was number 8 on the UK Soul Chart. And then by the middle of December, it was number 2. And honestly, when it was number 5, somebody met my uncle in Taman Desa, and they were like, how are things going with you? And he said, my niece is on a chart somewhere. No, I saw it on Facebook, and then this guy turned out to be a reporter from the Star, and then he contacted me, and then it kind of snowballed from there. So the Star picked it up, and the Sun picked it up, and then other newspapers picked it up. And when it was number 2, everybody's like, "Oh my God, there's a Malaysian artist on an international chart, number 2." But when it hit number 1, I was backstage of an event, and I saw Dasha Logan featuring Paul Johnson, Cleverly, number 1 on the UK Soul Chart. And I was backstage, and I was just doing this in like the most bodo way possible, because I was in full makeup and ugly clothes because I finished the show. So I called my friends and I said, "Meet me in town. We are doing shots tonight." And we went to a bar that was open back then.
By the way, this girl can take shots. I know this firsthand.
Shots of water.
You know.
Had my shots, celebrated, and went through all the press, and it was great. It was so elate. I was so elated. I was so happy. And when I texted the guys in London, they were popping champagne and they were properly celebrating because they were like, "We're number 1," and I'm here in Malaysia like, "I'm number 1, yay!" Kind of just low key celebration while they were.
Well, you were number 1 now, and of course, next step is to keep going, right?
Yeah.
You were a UK star, but you decided to come back. Why? I mean, how many people get that opportunity? They're number 1. Everyone there wants you. Everyone there wants to do another song with you. Everyone now wants to build your career because their career is on you. So the hype, everything is there. But you came back.
There was no question. I came back because my mother lives in Malaysia and she needs me, and it's just me and my brother taking care of her. And that was also really, it was just, well, it didn't seem like it was many years after my dad passed away, but it was only 5 years and our house had just burnt down. She was just moving to KL, Penang, in between. So no, I was still needed here, and I didn't want to leave this behind.
So you gave all that up to come back here?
It didn't feel like I was giving anything up. It felt like I was gaining a lot more if I stayed here. I only had my mother left and my brother. It was just 3 of us, which it has always been because my dad was always traveling, but it's still, we are a team, 3 of us. So.
Well, Dasha, I think that's what makes you very real. That's what makes you the star you are. So I know for a fact that whatever you gave up is nothing compared to what you're going to achieve.
Well, I believe
and I'm sure your mother is very, very proud of you. And if your father could see you now, and I know he is seeing you now, but, his little baby's done pretty well. No, Chop, don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But question now is, Dasha, you've done all this, you've achieved all this. You certainly made your father and mother proud. You've made your brother proud. You made your family proud. You've made Malaysia proud. Okay? No, and what's next? Now, you've achieved these highs. You've come back to Malaysia, and we all know that the music industry here has its issues. So, okay, actually, before you answer what's next, let me just take one step back. Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell me your views on the current state of the music industry?
The way I see it is it was up there in the 70s, like Alleycats wasn't seen as a Malaysian band that had a mixed race band, which is what they were known for.
It was just a Malaysian band.
It was just a Malaysian band. And even more than that, they were an amazing band. It wasn't like people in here went, "They're an amazing Malaysian band." They would just say, "They're an amazing band." And Alleycats opened for ABBA, and Alleycats had interviewed the Bee Gees. And these are things people don't really know, because back then it really didn't matter. In the 70s, 80s, it didn't matter. It just was good band, good music, simple. Then I don't know where along the way I feel like it got lost, where there was a lot of calculation in the kind of what would make a band successful, what makes a singer successful. There was a lot of calculations to it. Age, where you were born, what kind of music you're singing, what genre
How pretty you are.
How pretty you are, how pretty you are, in which gender. You could be a pretty boy. Are you a pretty boy? If you're not a pretty boy, maybe we try and do something more different, do a gimmick for you. There's all this.
But that
things.
the world went through that, right? I mean, we had the boy band phase, we had the,
Right.
we had that, right? But Malaysia particularly right now, where are we, in your opinion?
We are much better, I would say, because now, now you can make music in your own home. So a lot more Malaysians are making music, and because the platform is now international, so I can make music here, release music in London without having to leave my house.
That also means a lot more competition, yes?
Correct.
So it's democratized music,
Yes.
but then comes, yes, it allows everybody. Now,
Everyone.
I'll use Tony's line. Now everyone can sing.
Now everyone can make music. I'll just say that. Now everyone can make music.
Not necessarily everyone wants to hear the music.
That is correct. True.
I'd like to think I can sing. In fact, I think I'm a great singer. It's just that no one else agrees with me.
But that's what makes a good musician. A good singer is somebody who would sing and always question the people around him. Am I good? Am I good? But then in the end, it's up to you. Some people like if you came up with a record, some people might love it, and you'll always have somebody who hates it. So it just doesn't matter anymore.
I'm going to cheat a little. I'm actually going to do a record.
You're going to do a record.
Yeah, I've been doing all the things I haven't done, right? Like a bucket list.
Okay.
Right, and all these bucket lists I want to go through. And one of the things I have, because I've done pretty much everything. I've acted. I've written a play.
You've acted.
I've acted.
You're an actor.
I'm an actor, and I've directed. I've written a play. I've written a hit play.
Okay.
I've written poetry. I've achieved in business. I've done stuff in business that no one else has done.
Just the music.
So, but what I haven't done an album.
You haven't come to the music scene.
So, but you know what I think? I'm going to call it Vinod and Friends.
Okay.
And hide behind my friends. So they think it's my album, but it's Vinod featuring Dasha Logan.
Oh, so I'll...
Vinod featuring Afrin Shauki.
Imagine like...
Vinod featuring Zainal Abidin.
And then Vinod just there like...
Ooh, yeah, that's right.
That's Vinod. He's about like, woo! That was Vinod.
That was me.
Featuring, right there. Featuring. No, yeah, why not?
But, okay, so what's next for you?
Well, now it's exciting because... When I was younger, a lot of people said, Dasha, you need to sing songs in Malay if you want to be famous in Malaysia. And I feel like I've taken that out of my head because I know I don't have to. I love singing Malay songs because there's a whole different kind of energy and power to singing Malay songs. It's a whole different dynamic. But in Malaysia, we speak different languages. Why can't I sing a song in English? Why can't I sing a song in Mandarin or Tamil? My point is now I can sing in English and Malay and be just as successful. It's no longer a rule. If you want to be famous in Malaysia, you must sing in Malay. That's no longer the rule. What's the rule now is to become a popular singer in Malaysia, you just need to sing and do your work. Pay your dues, get the work done, write the songs, meet the musicians, perform as much as you can. Well, you should do some live performances. Stage fright is something.
Okay, I don't get stage fright. As I said, legend in my own mind.
But
so my problem is that I'm probably the guy you bring out on stage when it's really the end of the night and you really need to clear the restaurant or clear the bar. Then, you know what? Screeching cat comes to mind.
Goodness.
I'm there and I will do the job.
It's okay. We've got great engineers who can make that screeching cat sound like a purring kitten. It's okay. We got you. But what I want to do now is keep writing music. Keep writing music and keep putting music out there and making sure that people listen to what I have to say, which is what I've always wanted to do. And, we'll feature Vinod in a couple of songs.
So, immediate step. When can we hear Dasha's new album? When can we expect that? I know you've done EPs, I know you've done some songs, but when can we expect? I don't want to say return, but that is what I'm saying. When will we see the return of Dasha Logan?
I would say soon. And not only will you see a return, but you'll also see a different side of Dasha Logan. She's changing, she's morphing, and she's got more things to say. So, look out, Malaysia! Dasha Logan's knocking on your door. What that was.
I, for one, can't wait. You can knock on my door anytime you like. I know Malaysians can't wait. And honestly, Dasha, you are one of the most human, the most charismatic, and the most Malaysian singers around. Because you encapsulate all of us, right? You
back at ya.
encapsulate all of us. And that's what you must keep doing. Represent us. And when you represent us, I think you're going to shine because when you represent us, it's you.
I am
And
an
never
Asian.
stop being
It can't
you.
be anything else but that.
That's what's so nice. But I understand we have to do a rapid fire.
Ah, yes.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I am a night owl who is now forced to be an early bird. So it's like I'm a screeching night owl.
That sounds kind of scary, but okay. I'm not going to ask any further from that.
You know what I mean.
Who is your favorite singer?
My favorite singer who can do no wrong is my dad. I think he has a voice of a freaking angel. I get compared to him all the time. Like, you don't sound like your dad. I'm like, I'm not supposed to. Different people. But
Well, I know what that feels like because someone thought they were insulting me by saying, "Oh, Vinod, he's 50% of his dad."
I was like, thank you.
And I'm like, wow, shit. I'm here struggling, thinking maybe 10% good enough.
I like this. A lot of people say you will never fit in your father's shoes. So this guy, he came up to me and he said, "You will never fit in your father's shoes." And he was, I know he wasn't exactly all there, but when he said that, he shouted that to me, and I ran to the bar and I started crying. But I realized that I don't want to step into my father's shoes. We're not the same person. We're not the same size. The only thing I would love to do is how I see my dad is he's in a spotlight. He'll always be in a spotlight. And I love that I can share even a little bit of that spotlight with him. And that's what I want to do. I just want to share a little bit. And I'm very lucky of what he left behind for me. So,
Okay. What is your worst habit?
touching my hair. Every video clip you see of me, I touch my hair. I'm sorry I'm doing it now. But I've been told.
That's the diva move, right?
No, I think that's now like, it's my
It's okay.
drinking game.
It's okay, you're allowed to be a diva.
It's my
fine.
drinking game. Watch my music videos and drink every time I touch my hair. I dare you.
Okay. I think we can have a game show with that. Yeah, we can do a drinking game. What's your favorite Malaysian food?
Laksa. Penang
Which
girl.
one?
I love
Which one?
Penang asam
Penang laksa, Penang asam
Penang
laksa.
laksa. I mean, it's also a very close contender to Penang nasi kandar or Penang char kway teow. Ayo, tough question lah. Penang girl you're asking, but laksa.
And the last question is, would you rather be single or mingle?
I love to mingle. I'm a very social person. I like to go out and I like to talk to people. But I mean, to take it to the next step of do I want to get married and things like that, I think not quite yet.
So, are you dating?
I don't date that late.
Okay, I won't ask you anything more than that. I'm not saying anything more, right? I'm
I
not
have
saying
questions for you though.
You-
I heard
I-
about rapid fire questions, so I prepared some questions for
Okay.
you. Because, come on, I still want to get to know what's behind this. All right. What is the last item that you purchased?
I think the last item I purchased was a Mickey Mouse golf ball.
Mickey Mouse. I can see you're a big Mickey Mouse fan.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to love?
He's a cute little mouse.
I mean, Mickey Mouse, man, 80 years, not changed. Look, I'm sorry, Mickey's just cool. Mickey doesn't change. Mickey makes people happy. Mickey is, Mickey's larger than life. Mickey has friends. Mickey has everything else around him, right? But here's the thing. When someone says, hey, you're a Mickey Mouse company, hello, look at Disney, only worth about $500 billion. So,
Just a little bit, only? Not much, not very much. Okay, so a Mickey Mouse golf ball. Is that right? Okay. This is something very important to me. What is your favorite genre of music?
jazz, soul. But I must admit, there's a lot of rock I like.
Oh, good.
So for me, honestly, Dasha, I like melody,
Oh, that's good.
right? It's melody. So whether it's rock, whether it's jazz, whether it's rap, if there's melody, and I love lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
So I listen to music. I need the melody, I need the lyrics. I need it to tell me a story. I need it to move me. It's like a painting. If it moves me, then it's good. Don't care what real genre it is. But if those two things are there, then I like it.
Nice to know. What would you define as your happy place?
My daughters, that's my happy place. Petra and Tara, wherever they are, if they're with me, it doesn't matter what stress I'm in, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. The moment they're there, it's gone.
Well, that answers my how do you calm down when you're angry?
How do I calm down when I'm angry? Do I get angry?
I don't know. If you
Do I
ever,
get
oh, do
angry?
you never get angry?
Do I get angry?
You ever?
I'm a
Pretty
loving
chilled-
little
chilled
teddy
out
bear.
guy.
and cuddly, and I'm a teddy bear. Do I get angry? How do I calm down? Well, I'm one of these people. I get angry, but it's very short.
Okay.
I get angry, I say what I have to say, then I forget about it.
Ah.
And I think that's how I calm down. I don't hold on.
Okay, I can't imagine you angry. I haven't seen it yet, but can you show me like what does an angry face look like?
Angry face?
Yeah. Oh, so it's just your normal face. So you'll never know if Vinod's angry.
You know, I can tell you this. My daughters would say this. My wife can shout and yell at them. Scream blue murder, right? They just like in one ear out the other. I raise my voice by half a decibel. Tears start coming down their
Oh my
eyes.
god, my dad was just like that.
Yeah, so, apparently my angry face is something that doesn't smile. If I don't smile, apparently I'm angry.
It's something about daughters and fathers, I think. Because if my dad was angry, that would mean he's disappointed. And all he has to say is,
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit disappointed. And that's it. I'm like, I ground myself. I'm not leaving the house. Well, at that time, no phone. Like, take away my phone privileges.
Yeah, that's exactly what Petra and Tara are like.
Yeah. My mom can yell at me. I'll just like yell back. So I was such an argumentative little girl. Still am. But my dad would just be like, Dasha, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I'll never take the car out. And my dad caught me in a lie once. And I never lied ever because he's like, you're a very bad liar. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna not lie. When was the last time you went grocery shopping?
Okay, I love going grocery shopping. Honestly, it's this freaky thing in me. I like going to the supermarket.
Wet market?
But my wife hates it when I do.
Oh.
In fact, she gets upset if I do. Because I'm the guy that goes and I say, ooh, I think we need that. Not one, maybe two. Oh gosh, maybe I better take 4. And then go down. Ooh, shit, I didn't know they had this here. We get that. And then I'm supposed to go there to get 2 things. And I end up with a trolley full of crap, and all Winnie can do is, what the hell is this?
I'm on your
So I'm generally banned from going grocery shopping.
So you can spend an hour in the grocery store.
Yeah, because it's just cool, you just see stuff you haven't seen.
What about wet market?
The last time I went to a wet market was a decade and a half ago because, now it's just way too early and just way too smelly for
The
me.
best wet market, though, I must say, is in Sabah, where the sun rises at 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And then the wet market in KK is right by the sea, so you don't smell the fish smell or anything, which I hate. And I went there with my cousin one time, and I loved it. So, to me, best wet market in Malaysia is in Sabah.
Well, Sabah is Malaysia. I mean, for me, it's very simple. Sabah Sarawak is Malaysia. Malaya really has lost what it is to be Malaysia. So we need Sabah and Sarawak to teach Malayans again how to be Malaysia. Dasha, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Can't wait to hear your whole album.
Yes, please do.
And again, we're proud of you, as is everyone around you.
Well, next one, I'm going to make you cry. Stay. I'll find a way.
You'll find a way.
Yes.
Thank you, Dasha.
Thank you, Vinod.
This is Vinod Sekhar. You've been watching Shaker Not Stirred. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.